Let us move to qualitative analysis of organic compounds. Let me start from there. Analysis of organic compound. Look at what the qualitative analysis of organic compound is the practical aspect of organic chemistry, which involve the method of analyze the elements and functional group that present in unknown organic what? Compound. As we all know that what? Organic compounds assume to contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, halogen. At times, you can have phosphorus. But the majorly, all organic compounds contains hydrogen and what? And carbon. All these, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, halogen may be what? Present. So this aspect of the what? Of organic chemistry is a practical out of the chemistry called what? Qualitative analysis of organic compound is a method that involve the analysis of elements, how to determine the what? The element that is present in a particular what? Organic compound, or the functional group of what? Of organic what? Compound. So assume we are given what? Unknown salt or compound, which is called what? X. If they call this X what? An unknown organic what? Organic compound. We are now asked to identify the composition, the element that is present in this what? X, and state the functional group of what? Of this unknown organic compound. So how to identify the element that is present in an organic compound? Either the element is carbon, contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, or contain what? Carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen, or carbon, hydrogen, and halogen, is what we are going to treat now. And after that, how are we going to determine the functional group of unknown organic compound? You can call that one what? Confirmatory what? Text. Are we? So can I say what? This qualitative analysis, this involve method of analyze, analyzing elements and functional group method of analyzing elements and functional group present in an unknown organic compound. Known organic what? Compounds. So this is the practical aspect that we use to what to analyze the element that is present in organic what? Compound and the functional group of the organic compound. If you could still remember in my previous video, I've explained the organic compound and the functional group. Functional group is an atom or group of atoms that determine the chemical reaction or properties of what? Of organic compound. Or I also call it what? Is a reactive part of what? Of organic what? Organic compound. So, as we all know that organic compounds, so what? As we know that what? Organic what? Organic compound is basically contain or is commonly contained made up of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon, let me say, contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But at times, sulfur, sulfur, nitrogen, and halogen. What is halogen? Is chlorine, bromine, and iodide. Maybe what? Maybe present. Whereas in some organic compound, but it's very rare, and also contain what we call phosphorus. What? Phosphorus. But a compound that contains phosphorus or metal, they are very rare. So in short now, our organic compound now contains what? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, and what? And what? Halogen. So, like I said earlier, that what our major interest of this topic now, the qualitative analysis of organic compound is what? We want to estimate, to analyze the elements that we have inside organic what? Compound. And the element may be what? These two, three, they are may constant present. But what to what? How are we going to identify the presence of carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, halogens in organic what? Organic compound. So let's take it one after the what? The other. The first one is what? Carbon and what? And carbon and hydrogen. Yeah? The presence of what? Of carbon and what? Hydrogen. So here we want to carry out the experiments that we can use to test or to confirm the presence of carbon, and hydrogen in organic what? Compound. So can I say what? Carbon and hydrogen are detected. Carbon and I what? Hydrogen are what? Detected from or are detected in organic compound by treating it with copper oxide. Are detected by treating organic what? Treating the organic compounds with copper 2 oxide. With what? Copper 2 what? Oxide, which is known as what? CuO. So if you want to know the presence or to confirm the presence of carbon and hydrogen in organic compounds, the reagent we need to test for it, please, is copper 2 oxide. So when the what? The copper 2 oxide is being treated by what? By organic what? Compound, or is being eaten with what? With organic what? Organic compound. The carbon present in the organic compound, it will oxidize to form carbon 4 oxide, and the oxygen present there, it will oxidize to form water. And the presence of CO2 there, it will confirm by lime water, which change lime water milky, and the presence of water there can be confirmed by using what? Anhydrous copper 2 sulfate, which is white and later change to what? To blue. So here now, we are testing for what? The presence of carbon and hydrogen organic compound. What the reagent use is copper oxide. So when organic compound treated with what? Treated with copper 2 what? Oxide, abi? The product form is what? The copper present there is oxidized to form what? Carbon 4 oxide. So let me continue that. But the carbon present, the carbon that we have in what? In organic compound, present in organic compound, it will not oxidize. Carbon present in what? Organic compound, it will not what? It's oxidized to form CO2. Carbon present in organic compound is what? Is oxidized, dies to form C what? CO2, which is what? Carbon 4 oxide. Which is carbon what? 4 oxide. And this carbon 4 oxide is what? It change lime water what? Quickly, which which can be detected, which can be detected with lime water. So when organic compound is being react with what? When organic compound is being react with copper chloride, is being heated with copper what? Chloride. The carbon present there, it will give us what? The carbon present there, the carbon present there, it will oxidize to form CO, carbon 4 oxide, which can be detected or tested with lime water. So let us look at the reaction. So the carbon, I say what? The carbon present there, this is the equation. We have C plus copper 2 oxide. Don't forget that what this carbon we have here is from organic what? Organic compound. From what? Organic compounds. So the carbon will react with what? Copper 2 oxide and oxidize into what? Copper plus CO2. This is balance. Yes. Solid, solid, solid. This is gas. So whenever the copper 2 chloride is reacted or treated with what? With organic compound, because of it, the copper solid will form and a CO2 gas will what? Will also form. This copper will oxidize to form what? Carbon 4 what? Carbon 4 oxide. And the process of this carbon 4 oxide can be tested by using what? A lime what? Lime water. By taking lime water, this CO2 we have C what? CO2 air gas react with what? Calcium hydroxide. This calcium hydroxide is also called what? Lime what? Lime water. Lime water. So when the what? The CO2 react with lime water, it will give out what we call what? Calcium carbonate. Calcium what? Carbonate. This calcium carbonate, it has a milky color plus what? H2O. So that what? Lime water what? Milky. So this calcoteri, it will have what we call what? A milky what? A milky what? Color. So this is what? The test for the presence of CO2 in what? In organic compounds. So we can now say what? The lime what? Lime water. Let me say what? Lime water turn milky. So what? Lime what? Lime water turn milky, which ascertain that CO2 is present. We are done with what? Test for what? Carbon. Carbon present in organic compounds oxidize to form this. So the next one, it will be what? Say what? The next one, it will be, let me say, hydrogen. Hydrogen present in the what? In the compound. The compound is oxidized to water. To what? To water. And this can be tested with an hydrous just copper 2 sulfate. That is here now. To test for water there, we have what? H2O, the water that is formed there, plus copper sulfate to give us what we call what? This one is anhydrous without water and give us what? Hydrated what? Copper sulfate plus 5 molecule of what? Of water here. And the color of this copper here is what? Is white. When react with water, it will give us what? Blue color. So that is all about what? Test for test for test for presence of what? Of carbon and hydrogen. Once again, if you want to test for the presence of carbon and hydrogen in organic compound, of carbon and hydrogen in what? Carbon and hydrogen in organic compound, what reagent are we going to use? We use copper chloride, copper oxide. So when you heat the copper oxide, treat it with what? Organic compound that contain hydrogen and what? And carbon. The product of this reaction is what? CO2 and what? And H2O. So the presence of this CO2, we use what? Lime water to test for what? It, which is calcium hydroxide. The presence of water in what? In this, we use what? Anhydrous of copper sulfate. A salt of copper sulfate without water. The color of this salt is white. When it reacts with what? With water, it will change to what? To blue. Or we can use what? Anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride from blue to what? From pink to blue. So that is what? To test for the confirmatory test for presence of carbon and hydrogen in organic what? Compound. Don't forget the reagent that's used to test for the presence of hydrogen and what? Carbon in organic compound. We use what? Copper 2 oxide. And it will give us what? CO2 and water. We will use lime water to confirm the presence of CO2, which change liquid. We use anhydrous copper 2 sulfate, which is white, and change to blue to test for the presence of what? Of water. And the next thing is what?